friends, it's Nancy. I just wanted to share with you a little flip through of my latest journal, and I'm not sure whether I should sit or stand. Maybe I'll just half sit, half stand. So I'll show you this side first. So it has some charms. It has a T, a little watch face, a hand from a clock, and a little bead dangle, and here is a little silver key. So that's what's on the side. I've used vintage seam binding. So this seam binding was actually stitched into something. I had to pull some threads out of it. This book dates to the first decade of the 1900s, and I've preserved the inside cover and used the oh my gosh, the original inscription that was in the book. This was a Christmas gift in 1915. I've made a little pocket out of that, added a little image there, and echoed that image with a bigger one, which is stitched onto paper to make a journaling spot. Some airmail, letter writing paper, little graph paper. This has a little parchment bag with a tag. It says tea on it, so the theme of this journal is time for tea. So here is a piece of ledger paper, and I have pull that down. I have a little garment pin with the key on it there. This is this was also writing paper that's I've glued it, double layered it because it was very, very thin. Here's some vintage, just grabbing a piece of paper, a vintage dictionary page, but it can be used as a tuck spot, or you can slip something in there. Here's a belly band, and inside the belly band is a vintage recipe from a church, a recipe book, cookbook. I've layered that onto some vintage book paper and stitched around it. All of these images come from the same book. The name of the artist escapes me right now. I don't... Sandy Lyman Clough? That could be it. This page was from a Tolstoy play, I believe. So this is the glossary. It has some Russian terms and then has English meanings. This is also from the same book. All of the images in here are from the same book. That's a tuck spot there. This is a little tuck spot. And this is coffee dyed paper. Here's a little envelope that I covered in lace. It's a coin envelope, and it has a tag in there. Now, if I can just get it to slide in there. There we go. And I've just clipped it onto this page using one of these little bulldog clips with a scrap of fabric tied down there. The fabric matches the fabric that's been used in the tabs. I think I can safely sit down now. I feel like I'm not going to pull it out of frame. here's a little fold over. You can just flip that up, do a little journaling there. And here's a matching journaling card. This is made out of vintage book paper. And it's got a little piece of doily there. This has got a little piece of lace. On here, I put a little teacup tag, made a little collage there, and added this little tag to pop in there. Here's another collage, but that can be used as a tuck spot. And that's the first signature. And in here, there's a little tuck spot, again using vintage book paper for the journaling card. And this tab has a watch hand, sorry, a clock hand, and a little bead hangy thing. Little tuck spot. There's a tag made out of vintage paper, book paper, and this is from the inside of a watch, a wristwatch. These are the days that would turn inside the watch with each day. And here's another little tag. The book was George Eliot as a Poet. That was the title of the book that these pages came out of. And use some vintage linen down there. Another little tuck spot here. This is a little collage of fussy cut and some vintage linen, and these are the hands from a alarm clock. And this is just a little card. You can slip up under there. Another tuck spot here. And this page is a altered envelope. So it's a coin envelope, a large coin envelope. And I've covered it in lace. Has another one of those vintage fabric teacups that I made. And this little tea bag, it's actually a tag made out of vintage book paper. But I just added this little image to make it look like a tea bag. Tuck that in there. There is a journaling card in here. Oops. Jammed it a little hard. Here we go. And to hold it on, I've just added this little altered paper clip. So I used scrapbook paper and some scraps of lace and an image from the book. And there it is there. There's a little tuck spot with another tag. And that's the second signature. The third signature, very similar to the first. On the tab I have a little scrap of hand crocheted lace, and this is a watch face. And it's sort of got an opalescent quality to it. I think it's really pretty. And here's another tag. I just curled this so that the stitching on this journaling card wouldn't get caught in it. But I take this out so I can show you. It's vintage book page, and I made a little collage of a watch face and some lace and another image, double stitched and inked. Here's a recipe card. It came from an old cookbook, church fundraiser cookbook. And I put this little collage down here, some lace, a watch face, and an image, and stitched a ruffle on the top. This little altered tag is similar to the other one, except I added some lace here on the edge, and I made it go sideways. Here's a stack of these vintage fabric teacups, and in each one I've added a little handmade tag created from vintage paper and added a little image of a teacup on the bottom. So I've glued on some lace and stitched on some buttons. And here, this is an illustration from the original book. I've just attached it to, actually this is the end paper from the book itself, but I thought it was pale enough that you could write on top. And I made this little tuck spot by layering up. This is the face of a little alarm clock, little travel alarm clock, and I put the words time for, and then put a T here, signifying it's tea time. So there's lots of room for journaling. This is the end of the book. This is a vintage Rolodex card with an image from the book sewn on. Added a little lace to make a pocket. This is the original title page of the book that I repurposed to make this journal. So I will be placing this little lovely journal on my Etsy. If you're interested in purchasing it, I hope you'll take a look at my Etsy shop and see if there's anything else that you might be interested in. Because I can certainly add other items without any additional shipping. I'm happy to do that. Oh, I had it tucked in. I couldn't figure out where it was. So thank you so much for watching the video, and we will talk to you again soon.